This is a review of set 40795 Luke Skywalker Rebel Pilot Brickhead. This set has 138 pieces and retails for $10. As far as the actual set, it's pretty normal, and it even includes two printed pieces, being this 2x4 white tile, as well as this 2x4, which is basically like on a slope, 2x4 slope, I guess, white slope. Technically has two resistance logos. The whole red 5 outfit looks amazing. This brickhead is pretty normal as far as the actual shape. Of course, it comes with the stand like all brickheads, and it comes with two printed pieces, being this white 2x2 and this sloped white 2x4. It also comes with two of these 1x2s here to represent the actual like helmet, which I really like the design of. You even get a little like mic piece so it can interact with the rest of Red 5. Looks very nice, and I really like the detail on his boots as well. That's actually a roller skate piece there. And of course, it comes with his iconic lightsaber. Technically, this is in his pilot uniform, which he never really uses his lightsaber for. So it's kind of weird that it's including this rather than a blaster at all. It never includes a blaster in the set, which I feel like was definitely a missed opportunity. It's a small piece. I'm not quite sure if it actually fits on the brickhead hand here, but they have included blasters before in some, I guess, some custom blasters in some other brickheads before. This was a pretty simple build, basically a normal brickhead. My favorite part was definitely the helmet. I think it pretty much perfectly lines up. It's actually better build-wise than most of the other recent brickheads we've been getting. The one thing that I don't like is how this doesn't line up. It should be like a full red circle, so you're going to see like a little bit of yellow there. I'm not sure how LEGO would fix that without like making a new piece, which it's a brickhead, so it's not like they really were required to or needed to, honestly. But that would be like my one flaw here. There's nothing really bad about it, nothing exposed at all, but it's just when I turn it around, it doesn't look too good there. But of course, you're looking at it from the front and mainly. The Ultimate Collector Series X-Wing came with this figure, which is exclusive, being the Pilot Luke Skywalker, his best version with arm printing as well as dual molded legs. This is one of my favorite figures in my collection, even though I don't even own the UCS X-Wing, but I do have a short up on my channel talking a little bit about that. But if you compare it to the actual brickhead, it's pretty accurate. You get those dual molded legs, the two actual shades of it between the black and the orange there. As far as the arms, I do wish they would have like the 1x2 and then maybe print it for like all the brickheads or a decent amount of them on both sides, because they could add like a lot more detail to the arms specifically. But besides that, it actually looks pretty accurate. It doesn't include some of like the tubes that the actual pilot suit has, but as far as like the hip colors, it get really accurate. It doesn't include like the jaw strap on the brickhead, but still I feel like it looks pretty good and accurate for the brickhead. Really like this figure though. That's why I decided I would compare it. And honestly, I think figures should be included with a brickhead, especially with brickheads staying as $10, which is weird. But I think rather than making a microfighter or battle pack cost extra, they should make brickheads cost extra and then maybe throw in a minifigure, which wouldn't exactly balance it out, but it would make it seem like it is, because there's including a minifig. But for this specific one, I probably wouldn't want the UCS Luke to be in it. Probably just the normal one without leg or arm printing. May 1st of 2024 gave us the Clone Commander Cody brickhead, which was the one right before the Luke Skywalker pilot one in this year, and it comes with exactly 9 more pieces, which is kind of crazy. I mean, if you track like all the brickheads from the past years, technically you are getting less pieces, but it's not as much as I thought, especially with LEGO cost cutting. Brickheads are not even part of the equation. Their price hasn't changed. Nothing really has changed besides slight piece like count going down, which I can see over the future. But honestly, you can see some of the newer ones actually including a tad more. I don't really think it's up to actually that cost cutting, because honestly all brickheads are basically the same. It's just maybe Cody needed a little bit more for his visor than Luke did for his helmet. But overall they look pretty similar as far as like shaping goes, but it's not really about that. It was mainly the like piece count comparison. But one thing I do think is a little bit weird is how they include the box here, which is a little bit different than the normal brickheads box. This is what it's been like for the past who knows how many years Brickheads has been around, but this would be the normal box, and for some reason it's actually like technically a little bit bigger. I guess lengthwise it's bigger, but widthwise it isn't, so that's kind of weird. I don't know if they're technically saving on plastic. Height-wise is also a little bit taller, so I don't know if they're actually like saving on plastic or cardboard, and I guess it could be also trying to make it seem like this one has more, even though the piece count is clearly displayed. But I definitely prefer this as more like symmetrical boxes. And also weird why they're changing at the last second, because I have a certain storage for my boxes. If this is the first set that I have that is a brickhead and the only one of this specific brickhead, I will keep the box for later review, or if something else comes out, I want to have the box, and I have it perfectly stored in my closet. But for some reason, decided to change it. I have a lot of brickheads in my collection, and for some reason they decided to change up the box, which doesn't really help with the storage at all. But overall, I don't think it's that much of a problem. There's definitely some changes that need to be made with the brickheads, because I'm actually sort of a fan of them. I'm starting to collect like them. I believe I don't have the Tuscan Raider, which I think was from 2 years ago in 2023. If I believe I do have the Suck one from 2022. I just missed 1 year, but I'm actually really happy because they're kind of cheap, good sets, and of course I love Star Wars, and it's also sort of expanding my themes a little bit, because technically this is the Brickheads theme and not the Star Wars theme. It's sort of like a crossover between them, but LEGO would classify it as the Brickheads theme. But I definitely think, or at least thought, that this would be the first one to be affected by LEGO's like price change and inflation and everything. For some reason they decide to do that on battle packs and microfighters, which is kind of weird. I feel like they should just slap in a minifig and make it like $10 more, which would kind of suck though, but I feel like it would be a worthy sacrifice for a battle pack or a microfighter to be a little bit cheaper. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing rest of your day, and see you all in the next one.